What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the BSP Podcast. And man, what a weekend. What a couple weeks to be a Philadelphia sports fan. I mean, look at this. Look at the city. We got all the mascots in the logo. That's what you're here for. You're here for Philly sports talk. I'm Brendan Petrilli. Let's get into it, man. I mean, look, I got the Philly shirt on. It's Red October, full effect. I was at the game on Friday. Absolutely electric. Saturday, even better, moving on to the NLDS. Eagles go and take care of business Sunday Night Football. We'll get to them in a little bit too. But even we got the 4-for-4 hat on. Flyers are 2-0 to start the year when everybody thought maybe they'd win maybe 10 games, close to 20 games for the year. And then the Sixers are starting. It will be today when this podcast comes out. Sorry, getting it out a little day later than I normally like to, but it's been a grind putting out content for Farzy and for Broads. So make sure you go subscribe to their pages too, the Farzy Show and Broads Media. Also, go check out Cold One Conversations. Me and Harry, the boy, get a little bit more in depth about the NFL and MLB seasons, giving out our picks. I was red hot this week, bounced back after a terrible week 5. This week, the HTL is about to hit. We'll know in a little bit. I'm recording before Monday Night Football, but if the under 45.5 hits with the Chargers and the Broncos, which I think is a good chance because both those teams, the Broncos stink. So I like our chances the HTL to hit. So we'll see, maybe update it throughout the show. But make sure you go follow me on Instagram because I'll definitely be putting it up if it does hit. First time of the year that it finally hits in the past 2 weeks since we started the HTL, the Harry and Trilly parlay. All right, but let's get into what everybody's here for. I mean, man, the Fightins, the Birds. The Sixers are starting today, too. Flyers. The Fightins. We're talking about the Fightins. Go and absolutely take care of business against the Atlanta Braves. Stole one. I think we talked about it last week in Atlanta. Probably should have won both outright, honestly, and I should have been at the game, the clinching game on Friday afternoon. But it is what it is. But that's what made it so great where Rhys Hoskins has that error that just bombshelled Zach Wheeler's start game 2, where he was set up to be the hero. And you knew he was got to do something special. And that's what he did. When he gets up there, they intentionally walk Kyle Schwarber to get to Rhys because he was 1 for 37 going into that at-bat. 1 for 37. Awful plays in the field. The guy's been having an absolute terrible time of it. You know, everybody knows how I feel. I don't really like Rhys. He's the most streakiest guy in the world. But that being said, when he does get hot, the guy is electric. And when he gets that pitch, he turns on it, drives it deep in the left field. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. I'm sitting up in that left field corner there, 400 level, just wanted to get in. And man, was that electric. I mean, I just have chills thinking about it. The hugging everybody's high-fiving. It was just special. The bat spike, the throw it, everything off. And then just the absolute dominance from there on out. Bryce comes up and hits a dinger a couple innings later just to add on. I mean, the at-bats before that, even to get to Rhys, Bryson Stott has had some of the best at-bats all playoffs. Fouling them off 8, 9 pitches, getting a double to lead it off, singles, doubles. This Phillies team has got it. And what did I tell you back in early July? Don't let this team get hot. Don't let this team get hot. And Dingerdelphia is in it, and we're here. We're in the National League Championship Series. We got the San Diego Padres who took down the Dodgers. That's a surprise. That is wild. The Phillies and Padres both coming in the wild card teams. Yeah, I mean, talk about how it could diminish, blah, 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 these big-time 100-win teams going down. Guess what? You got to win when it matters, and those teams didn't matter. They fell apart. The Phillies and Padres had to go play extra series, use their arms, use the bullpen. But the good part about it was it let their bats get hot. And that's what carried the Fightins. Because their bats were ready to rock and roll when Bryce Harper hits that home run in St. Louis. to give you that lead. And after you come back the day before, took 9 innings for their bats to get going that first game. But then the second game hits that big moonshot. You knew he was locked in. The guy is batting over 500 in the playoffs. He is everything that you've been dreaming about since we signed him. And for him to go yard like that at Citizens Bank after Reese to just tack on, and when you saw the replay of him stepping on home plate, he just gave like a little smirk. And like you knew what he did. He knew what he did to that ballpark. That he knew that everybody was waiting for that, and he delivered, and hopefully he keeps it going. JT's getting the inside the park home run. Nick Castellanos, the first game in Atlanta, diving catch, the 3 RBIs in the game, the diving catch to save the game in the 8th. I mean, the guy, or in the 9th, the guy is just an absolute. Everybody's hitting at the right time right now, and that's all that matters when it comes to playoff baseball. You can win 100-plus games, good for you. But when it comes down to it, if your team is clicking right now, like the Phillies and the Padres have been, it's hard to go against. You still have multiple opportunities to beat them. The other teams had home field advantages, which is huge in the playoffs. You saw what it was like out at Petco and at Citizens Bank. Like, those are the energies. And those other away teams, or those 100-win teams, they didn't have the same energy. They didn't match it because they didn't want it. Their players might have wanted it, but those cities didn't. And Philadelphia and San Diego, they've been waiting a long time for this opportunity, and both of those cities showed out, and they stepped up, and their team stepped up for them. And the Phillies just got it going and started off an amazing weekend for Philadelphia sports. I mean, you think Philadelphia is unbearable to begin with when we're losing? Just imagine now the Phillies are making a possible run. I like the Phillies in 5 in this series, but I like them in 5. And the Eagles are undefeated. Undefeated. You know how hard that is in the NFL to go undefeated through 6 weeks? Very hard. There's only one team ever in the history to go a full undefeated season. That's what made, all my Giants buddies, that Super Bowl, they beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl where they were going for 17-0. So special. Is because you beat that undefeated team. Guess what? Everybody's gunning for the Eagles now. And nobody can knock them off. The Eagles have won games, what I said last week. They've won it in different ways. This week against the Dallas Cowgirls, they go out and they absolutely stomp them in the first half. It is crazy. The second quarter Eagles is by far the best team ever in the history of the NFL. They're like at a plus 82 point differential in the second quarter. I don't get it. I don't know why, but there's just a different swagger in that quarter. Everything hits. The way they run plays. The defense is getting turnovers. I saw a stat today about the defense. The Eagles have 12 turnovers on the season through 6 weeks. You want to know who the next is? The Baltimore Ravens. Shout out Harry. Go subscribe to Cold One Conversations. Subscribe to here too, BSP Podcast. But with 4. How many passes? 4. How many picks? 4. The Eagles have 12 turnovers. And the next closest is 4. That's insane. That's wild. Some teams might not even get to 12 by the end of the year. This defense is on another level. These cornerbacks are ball hawks. CJ Gardner-Johnson gets 2. The pass rush, getting to Cooper Rush, getting to Kyler Murray. The way, when you go into games and if we can get pressure on this guy, our back end guys are going to make plays for us. And that's what the Eagles have been doing. Brandon Graham comes in. A beautiful inside power move. Pulls right through him, right in Cooper Rush's face. Goes right in between the tits. Not in the face, Cooper. In between your fat tits. Just like mine. That's what you got, buddy. Goes in there, pops you, and you knew it was over after that. The guy is an absolute legend in Philadelphia for plays like that. Did it in the Super Bowl, has done it most of his career, after the first couple of years, of course. But the guy has been an absolute constant mainstay for that defensive line, and they're stepping up, and they're only getting better each and every week because when it's coming down to it, yeah, Dallas came back in it. Yeah, am I pissed? how that third quarters have been happening for the Eagles. It's just a totally different football team. The way that they just attack on both sides of the ball, it's ugly, and you're just like, why? Why do you let the foot off the gas? But then each and every game, when you think it's gonna go bad, you have a 9-play, 8-minute drive on offense. Brandon Graham comes in and gets that big hit. Hassan Reddick gets a strip sack. They come and they answer. They make plays. These other teams have had chances to take over, but they haven't. That's why the Eagles are 6-0. There's other teams all around the league that have losses when they've had opportunities like this to win football games, even teams that are like 3-3. But the difference is that you come up and you make those plays in the fourth quarter. And that's how you win football games. That's the DNA of a good football team, a great football team, where you have your players go and make plays. You forget about the coaches. You forget about the schemes. Your players make plays. And the Eagles have players all over this lineup, all over the field on both sides of the ball. And it's electric. The link was rocking. I was at Xfinity Live working for the Fanatic doing the pregame show. It was just buzzing the whole time we were there. My voice is still shot from going to the Phillies game. I'm going to be there Saturday too. It's going to be absolutely electric. Hopefully that'll be the clincher. Maybe it won't even get there. Maybe they win Friday instead and it's over. That'd be cool too. But I want to go to the game. Be a little selfish there. But man, what a ride. What an electric factor. I mean, dude, just scrolling through Twitter, all the stats, the videos, the player reactions to everything. The Phillies going and partying at Xfinity Live afterwards, Bryce Harper is spraying champagne on everybody. Brandon Marsh is singing DMX. Like, it's just wild. A wild ride. AJ Brown after the game against Dallas, and he's just like, yeah, I'm talking with Smitty and Quez, and I'm just like, we got Meek Mill singing Dreams and Nightmare coming out before a regular season game. It's a packed house. This is a regular season football game. Philly's lit. Goddamn right it is, AJ. Philly is lit right now. It's on fire. Don't let us get hot. Been telling you that. Don't let this city get hot because we will make a run for it for the ages right now. I'm not ready to come down. Hopefully I don't have to. Fighting's in 5. Let's go Phillies. Birds are going into a bye week, so we'll get to rest a little bit and put all of our focus on the Phillies and the Sixers starting this week, Tuesday and Thursday. They got their 2 games, first games of the season, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully the Sixers keep this momentum going because Joel Embiid was at that game. Both games, Phillies and Eagles. He sees what this city is ready to rock and roll. He knows how close he's been the past couple years, just a player or two away. And hopefully he sees what this energy and this excitement that this city can give to their teams here in Philadelphia. And hopefully he wants to go and drive that home even more now with the Sixers to keep this going for the city of Philadelphia. Shout out to the 215. Go Birds, baby. Go Fightins. I'll see everybody in the next one. Go subscribe to Cold One Conversation for more in-depth NFL talk. I missed the record.